A flash flood warning was issued here in Hampden County earlier this evening amid that heavy rain and thunderstorms. Western Mass News reporter Maria Wilson visited some of those hard-hit areas. She joins us now live in Springfield with the latest conditions. Maria.
Chris, the conditions here in Springfield really have done a 180 since the start of this evening. We started this evening with heavy thunder and downpours and even some lightning scattered across the area. And now the rain really has seemed to clear up for the most part. Just some damp driveways and grass left behind. And those dramatic scenes were throughout much of southern Hampden County earlier today. On your screen, you're seeing videos from Springfield and Chicopee as folks were dealing with the heavy downpours that brought thunder and lightning along with it. These bouts of heavy rain turning highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage areas, more into small streams. And aside from major delays here in Chicopee, the storm also washing out local highways. We went to Route 291's on-ramp in East Springfield, and this is what we saw. The ramps were just completely flooded and impassable. Several cars with their hazard lights on and stranded on the side of the road. Now the off-ramps from the Mass Pike to Route 291 are closed in both directions, and the Mass State Police are asking if you are planning on heading on the roads this evening to avoid those areas and seek an alternate route. Live in Springfield, Maria Wilson, Western Mass News.